Resources. I would argue that in every co-op horde shooter, most co-op games for that matter, managing your resources is like the ultimate end goal to the gameplay loop, right? That's like what it all boils down to on what I would say is the fundamental level. Helldivers being the big example, right? But let's say core OG Deep Rock Galactic. I guess I have to say OG for that one now. You know, it's still Deep Rock. Deep Rock Galactic minus the road core part. Yeah. Warhammer Dark Time, Warhammer Space Marine, Mycopunk, Raven's Watch. That's not even a shooter, but it's a horde, like it's a hack and slash, right? I could say hack and slash it too. Left for Dead, right? Co-op campaigns. Killing Floor 2. I never played Killing Floor 1, but like I never 3 is kind of dead to me. Right? Well, it doesn't exist to me, and I would say like for a good amount of the player base it doesn't exist for that too. Another game. Shape of Dreams. Old OG Call of Duty Nazi zombies. Like even arguably to that extent, right? Like everything is like resources, time, ammunition, a very in general statement. Most of these have a very limited amount of those things. Obviously, there's like infinite ammo weapons, some et cetera, et cetera, right? There are some exceptions to this rule, but that is a very in general risk of rain too. That's a big one, right? Cooldowns, right? Yeah. Oh, and a big important resource being health, right? Your health matters. In a lot of these games, the way you lose the game, right, is like Dark Tide being a big one, right? Is like the game will try and chip you down, or it just try and kills you all at once. But usually it's trying to whittle those resources, HP being a very big one, right? But all of those I aforementioned ones, right? Um, and you do your best to not take chip damage over time to extend how good your ammo usage is, right? Let's use Helldiver as an example, right? It's probably the most played one out of all the ones I just mentioned, right? A typical mission limits you to like 40 minutes on a Helldiver's mission, right? Right, we know about it. If you don't know about it, it's fine. I'll assume you do, but you don't need to for my point to stand on this. You care about your grenades, right? Your anti-tank weaponry ammunition, your horde clear ammunition. Try and squeeze the value out of bullets and your explosive weaponry between resupplies. I'm talking about like on higher difficulties, right? Where it's not just an easy walk in the park. Stratagems in that game or your big cooldown, right? That is your literally those are your cooldowns. You try and get most value out of them. You know, try and get as many kills off this 500 you can, etc., etc. Although sometimes you save it throughout the whole mission just to drop a 500 on the Pelican at extract. But let's be honest, that's taxpayer dollars, right? In game, you gotta use them. All right. Now my point of today, road core. We have an ability that one I don't see a lot of people playing retcon. Two, for what I've seen via the internet, which I do agree with to a pretty decent extent. People say it's a pretty not that good ability, which actually it might not be. That's not the point I'm trying to make. I'm not trying to make a point of, hey, is it good? Is it bad? I'm trying to make a point of it is fun because it breaks the like games or breaks the rules of these games on a fundamental level. You have an ability that at the press of a button, you play a whole different game, completely different game for 20 seconds. Now that's how long I measured it at base via me doing 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, right? I counted. It could be like 18.9 seconds. It could be like 20.3 seconds. All right, I don't know for certainty exactly. But for the sake of me making the point I'm trying to make, we're gonna say 20 seconds, right? When you press this button for 20 points, like I just said, for 20 seconds, you do not give a fuck about the game, about what you're currently doing in normal deep rock, right? Horde spawns. What you want to do? You want to be a nice, defendable area. Enemies coming at you from the front. A good sight line. You're not gonna get flanked. Hopefully, or you have somebody covering the flank, right? Nah. Screw. Fuck that. All out the window. Out the window. You want to be throwing hands with as many enemies as possible. You want to be in the most open area, 360-degree open sightline, target rich environment. We're surrounded, which means no matter where we shoot, we're gonna hit something. That is your mentality when you are in this ability. You want to see as many enemies as possible. You don't care if they're ranged and hitting you back. That don't matter. You cooldowns. Don't care. Ammunition, don't care. If you have you have your fully automatic PGL grenade launcher with a like double extended mag dump that shit. Losing HP to chip damage, so you don't have to because you don't want to be constantly getting red sugar all the time to recuperate your HP. Don't care. Take it all. Positioning, obviously, I just said, don't matter. You have one singular rule, which is just don't go down. If you don't go down, you get every single resource that you expended back. Your 6 grenades that you have on you, chuck them all. Mag dump that. Mag dump every single thing. You get all your resources back. As long as you don't go down within time frame, and you can cancel it early. Obviously, the damage you do by mag dumping everything in the room doesn't get rewinded. But you get rewinded, right? Now, the most obvious thing you would think of to abuse with this ability, right? Or that you would think of to synergize with this ability is you take whatever is the most trigger fingerable gun you could think of. Like 4-shot revolver, right? The one from Deep Rock Galactic's gunner inventory, natural inventory. I can't remember what it's called, right? I think it has a really fast reload time. Yeah, and your idea is like, oh, I'm going to save this in my back pocket, conserve ammunition in the front one with my primary weapon, and then once it comes time to swap out to this trigger finger weapon, pop ability, and just go spraying in the room. I want to point out that, as I said earlier, your nades get reset. I had a build where you have 12 nades and you just mag dump those as well. It doesn't matter. For what it's worth, your utility also refreshes. So if you find an equipment crate within the level and you get, let's say 7 uses of Driller C4, you could just pop ability, go throw 7 C4s, and rewind. Just whatever you think could be the most devious combo is, right? If you have a perk. Now, another thing I want to mention, if you have a perk for synergies, that the one that says when you're meleeed, you get you stun enemy melee you. Cool, no downside anymore, obviously, unless it's a hit that takes you down. The super, what I consider the cook one is with the one where if you take 50 damage, you blow up and deal like 200 or 300 damage around you. Now, this is where I would say on this ability, greed comes in. Right? During those 20 seconds, right? Unless you get the 15% duration extension, right? Upgrade. You want to milk as much value as you want. It's a 75-second cooldown. You're going to want to milk that value, right? In order to do as much damage as possible, right? Or if you want to get off a revive within that time, which you can, and take the damage during the revive and rewind back, right? So you can kind of get a free revive. It's still risky, but it's like a lot. You lose a lot. Stand to lose a lot less, right? You won't be playing like how you normally would during these 20 seconds, as I'm saying here, right? You're not gonna kite out melee enemies. Nah. Sometimes you want to be in the thick of it, right? You'll be running into the dead middle of the room, as I said, probably. And sometimes you'll throw a grenade at your own feet just to get yourself life total lower, so you can proc the I mean, that's what I do. There's an upgrade where if you drop below 25% HP, you spawn a decoy. And it's kind of like a free decoy at that point, right? You take a few hits on your shield, you don't care. If you're surrounded, the idea is like, let me just shoot a few more bullets. I'm taking a little damage, I'm running a little low, but let me just try and squeeze out a little more damage before I rewind. Cancel my ability, right? You are, I would consider, your own worst enemy at this stage. You are basically in creative mode, and you're trying to milk out this as much damage out of this creative mode as you can. But if you're gonna fly really close to the sun, all those consequences that you ignore come crashing right down on you, right? All those bullets you would have gone back, all those 6 nades that you would have magged them, your shield, every resource that would have came back. If you go down, those things are actually just straight gone now. You gotta recuperate them, right? You now have to face the consequences of your actions. Unless on one specific consideration, which I don't have footage for, which is you bug out the game by rewinding, like canceling the rewind ability, activating it, and then getting downed during that, like during the animation. You'll rewind back, but you'll even say in the chat box, like, that you went down. It'll tell all the players you went down, but you don't actually go down. There's like one exception, but I'm pretty sure that's like bug. Unless it's not, but whatever, right? This ability is, in my opinion, the closest thing you'll get to creative mode, as you will in a co-op game. Is only balanced by a I'm going to be honest, a pretty ridiculous 75-second cooldown. Which is why I build, which is why I take the Falconer deck that gives you 2 upgrades, bio upgrades, that give you ability cooldown. You want just as much cooldown as possible, as much uptime as possible. The ability says when you're standing still, you get 200% cooldown regeneration. Sometimes you take that, sometimes that is good on it helps in the downtime, right? To help your uptime. It is a long withdrawal time where you have to be playing defensive and saying your nades, and you actually have to be playing the actual video game back to actually caring about ammo conservation. It's a long withdrawal for when you can get back on your next high and then get back on your drug and start, action and start like not playing the game properly again, right? Then you get to play God essentially. I think that this ability is playstyle defining, right? For me at least, and it fits my playstyle to a T. It's where you alternate between points of extreme overpoweredness, God levels of strength, and then you have to go, and then you alternate between that and comparing to the God level comparison here, human-like levels of weakness where you are now just an average Joe. The character honestly does not have much team util other than the contingency plan, which is really good, to be fair. Don't get me wrong, Iron Will is good for a reason. Again, not much team util. You basically are just no abilities character until this is on cooldown. The rage isn't much. It's double damage is good. Double anything is good, but like it's it's not great. It's really not like it's not gonna keep you alive, Last thing I want to do this is I want to be drawing a parallel to a character I used to play in a game called Soul Knight. It is a mobile multiplayer 8-bit Enter the Gungeon type game. Like literally, if you know what Enter the Gungeon is, it is almost to a T that, right? And my main character in the game was Paladin, and his ability put a bubble around you, right? You only know what I'm talking about to like get the point of what I'm making. He put a bubble around you, and it absorbed all projectiles for one, converted all damage that the projectiles consume into ammo for you, which is already pretty good. And third, it made your character completely damage immune. I mean, completely damage immune. Complete. If you got hit by a boss's melee, which goes through the shield, doesn't matter, you're immune. If you get hit by something, you would still get its secondary effects on you. Like, you could get stunned, frozen, whatever. Like, you can still get hit. You were just damage immune. For about 5 seconds when you activated the ability, nothing could kill you, and you were fully actionable during that time. You could shoot, whatever, right? So while it was up, you ran at the boss. You ran at all enemies in the room. You go for a revive if you need. You do as much damage as you can possibly do. You nuke as much as you can during your God status. Literally, you cannot die when that ability's up. Cannot. And while I was down, you were, I believe, a slower character. You really had nothing differentiating you from a normal base character. You are taking at that point. When that ability is down, you are taking cover behind behind walls for projectiles. You're playing around that cooldown again. You can see the parallel I'm drawing, right? You are playing between high highs, very high highs, the bounds breaking highs, and balanced by the fact that your lows are, well, that's when you're vulnerable. That seems like a very cool. I don't know. That's always been my playstyle for kind of things. It doesn't have to be yours. I'm just saying, give it a try. You don't need to use this playstyle for this ability if you want to use the ability. But no, this ability, I wanted to make a point. I made this to make a point. Rogue Core devs have made one of the most fucking fun abilities for me, like of all time, of all co-op games, and you should try it too if you haven't given it a chance. Thank you for your time.